Hi, and welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man Lee Judges, brought to you today by AFTV PICK10. Don't forget, you can do your PICK10s. All you got to do is download the app AFTV Plus and get involved. I'll be telling you about our PICK10s later on in the show and how some people last week absolutely cleaned up on it, Lee.
Unbelievable.
I won a fiver. But we'll talk a bit more about that.
You might tell me that, could you, like that?
A bit more about that later
I won a fiver.
I won a fiver.
I ran out of money, didn't I? I ran out of money.
You ran out of money again.
Again, yeah, I'm having a bad time.
First of all, I've got to shake your hand, man, and say, listen, well done, right? Brilliant. You was one of the many people that was part of the
the
stream
day
that we did, 12-hour stream, right? Where what we did is we came together as Arsenal fans and also fans of other clubs as well, right? All got involved, right? Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, everybody got involved and came together on AFTV to do a 12-hour live stream to raise money for the earthquake victims in Turkey and Syria. And I have to say, it blew me away. We've raised to date over £30,000, just around about £30,000, and people are still donating. And we're going to have the link in the description if you still want to donate. We're going to keep the donations Just Giving page open until Monday, right? So you can still keep donating, or if you haven't donated already, you can donate. But it was wonderful. It was wonderful to have everybody in here doing the stream. Yeah. We did an Invincible podcast special, which we had Chris Hudson on it, we had Julian on it. It was really, really good.
Eating chilies.
Yep. And we smashed the target that we set out to do for the whole 12-hour stream in the Invincible podcast, the first show. So thank you very much to all you guys who are regular watchers and listeners to the show, and it was absolutely brilliantly.
Yeah, and big up to yourself and the production staff and all, because behind the scenes, that was a good thing for me, because like I'd done the show and then you can go behind and have a look what's going on, you know, and see what those guys are doing. Brennan's paid me, by the way, to say that. So no, but the work that they do and everything like that, Jason, Ryan, and all that, like, you know, Hass, I have to mention him as well, like, you know. So they were all fantastic. They're buzzing around working. You know, for me, I had like one shift first, and then I was towards the end. So, for me, I can sit around.
You did two big shifts, man. You
did
4 hours.
Yeah. But, like, you can sit there and chill out for a little bit, get some food and all that. These guys weren't able to do that, you know what I mean? They was just sort of having to eat as they was going. So, big up to them, big up to yourself. And a big up to everybody that donated as well. Like. But that just shows you the power, doesn't it?
Yeah.
30,000, you know. When you said to me about doing it, you said, if you'd have said to me, right, what do you reckon, ballpark figure, 15 maximum I would have gone for. Maximum. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like to double that, you know, is incredible. Like,
it's incredible. Thank you very much to the you guys out there, and also to the sort of YouTube football community. It was brilliant the way we all came together and pulled that one off. Fantastic. So listen, we've got a lot of things to look forward to. First of all, there's a big question I want to ask today, actually, right? Because obviously the Europa League draw happening Friday. We all know who we got in that. For you, Lee, what is more important this season? Winning a European trophy, which is something that, when was the last time we did that? It was a Cup Winners' Cup. 1994. For a huge club like Arsenal. That's a bit poor, isn't it? You know what I mean? 1994.
When you look at the players that were playing in that day, like, you know what I mean, they're all the same age as us. You know what I mean? Like, that just shows you how bad it is, really. Yeah. If you be honest.
So because chance to win the Europa League this year, lots of good teams still left in it, but we are one of those good teams that are left in it. So chance to win the Europa League or the title. What is the priority for Arsenal Football Club this season? Because I guess as well, when you win the Europa League, you're straight into the Champions League, but then you win the title, you're in the top four anyway, and you win the title. What would you prioritise, or do you prioritise both? Do you say to yourself, we've got a squad good enough to win both of these, so we're going to go for both of these in a big way?
Well, I don't think we've got a strong enough squad to do both, if I'll be honest. I don't think that we have. Hopefully I'm proved wrong, but that's how I feel about it. For me, beginning of the season, it was Europa League. I'm not going to lie, you know what I mean? I honestly, genuinely didn't think we'd be anywhere near winning the title or going for the title. I just thought like, you know...
Did you think we challenged for the top 4?
Yeah, I did think we'd challenge for the top 4 with the safety net of the Europa League. Like if we could, you know, win that, and I felt that I felt we should really prioritise to win that league. But as the seasons have gone on, goalposts. Yeah. Oh, you've moved the goalposts. Well, Arsenal have moved the goalposts, and I'm happy that they have because it's changed for me now. I think we've got a fantastic, and I believe this now, especially after the game against Villa Park. I feel we've got a great chance of winning the league, and I would rather us go all out to win that. And if we fail, so be it. Then get injuries and whatever, you know, the Thursday, Sunday, the travelling and everything. Now, don't get me wrong, I love going to the Europa League games and European games and all that. Great. But the Premier League, I can see it, Robbie. I can see it out there. I can see it. Like, do you know what I mean? Where I haven't in the last few years. You know what I mean? I don't put any Arsenal fan would turn around and say we'd be in the title race at the beginning of the season. Even though when we watched that team in pre-season, we thought, oh, something special going to go on there. But like, listen, we got. I think you know. We need. I'm going to say this now. We need the Europa League for for one round.
For one round.
One round. This round and maybe the next round to just get Smith Rowe and Jesus a few 90 minutes under their belt, and then
So using it like some training thing or something.
Yeah, I do feel like like they need games without the pressure of winning. You know what I mean? Like you can't. Like for instance, you can go like I don't know. We're going to get in the Europa League, but we can go over there and get a draw. And then come back and win.
Some of the teams left in the Europa League, obviously, we know,
we get one of the teams that's playing at the moment, don't we?
You could get a Sevilla, Roma, Feyenoord, who are actually top of the
Barcelona,
the Dutch league, Ajax, Lazio, Monaco, Barcelona if they get through, Leverkusen, Union Berlin, Juventus are still in it. There's some decent teams. Let's just say Arsenal have got Juventus. Let's just say, right?
Well, it could happen, couldn't it?
The draw's on the Friday, and the time of recording this show is before the draw. But let's just say we got Juventus, yeah? Would you play a weak team against Juventus? Would you go to Juventus and leave out Saka, leave out
Odegaard?
You got a game on the weekend. So actually, let me see what the game would be on that weekend, right? So
Fulham, I think.
Is it Fulham? Right. So we got Fulham away, isn't it? That'd be.
Yeah,
I'm just going to double.
And then in between, so we've got Fulham, and then we've got the second leg, and then we've got Crystal Palace.
Right. So games that you look at and say,
don't go down that route. Don't go down that route.
Certainly not easy games, right? Especially the Fulham one away. That's a tricky game for any team. I'm just checking. Yeah, you're right. So first round, Fulham. Second round, Palace at home, right?
Do my homework. Do my homework.
You've done your homework for once. So, Fulham away. You're thinking to yourself, that's a little tricky little game, man. We need to, and if we're really going for the league. So do you leave out Saka, Partey, who else?
Odegaard,
Saliba, maybe Gabriel, both actually.
Both.
You could play Kivior.
Zinchenko, he's not playing.
Zinchenko.
Ben White's not playing.
No Ben White. So you go that you really.
Yeah, I would.
Juventus away.
Don't matter.
You don't want to go over there and get like a 3-4-0 or something
listen,
like that. You're confident in the squad.
I'm confident. Yeah. Why not? You got listen, that game.
So sorry to cut you there. So it'd be a back four of
Tomiyasu.
It'd be in goal Matt Turner, and it'd be Tomiyasu, Rob Holding, Jakob Kivior, and Tierney.
Yeah.
That's a really untried. And then what? You'd be Jorginho.
Yeah.
Fabio Vieira.
Yeah. Xhaka, maybe.
Xhaka, maybe. And then a front three of what? Eddie, Reece Nelson.
No. Yeah. No,
Well, you're going to have to play Saka then, isn't it? It's Reece Nelson
no,
and Saka.
like Smith Rowe.
Smith Rowe, all right. If he's fit.
Jesus. Get him some
If he's fit.
If he's fit. And Nelson.
Jeez, that's a weakened. That's a much weakened team. You'd play that.
Yeah.
To keep back all of those players for Fulham.
For 3 points at Fulham, yes. And 3 points at Crystal Palace, yes, I would.
What about do you remember, right? When we played Man City in the FA Cup.
Yep.
We made 7 changes, right? Which I was perfectly, and I still was comfortable with, right? Obviously, we lost the game 1-0. There's a lot of people who cite that and say we should never have made those wholesale changes.
That fella at Everton.
Because they're saying that after that led to us going on a poor run.
Yeah.
We lost the momentum of winning. If you go with such a weakened team,
we done it in the group stages.
Juventus, but you're not playing against some of those teams. It's not Vienna.
Listen, we went
Rapid
to
Vienna, or whatever they were called. This is. You could be going away to Juventus.
We went to PSV. All right, we got beat that day.
Weakened team.
I don't remember who we played the next game, but all the fans were coming out and going, "Well, it don't matter as long as we win at the weekend on the Sunday," which I believe we did.
Yeah.
So it made it all right.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah, listen. What happens if, it's a difficult one because, you look at Man United, for instance. They're playing strong teams and they're doing well. You know what I mean? Like they're in a cup final and things like that. I don't want anything like if we went to Fulham and for instance, Saka's not playing because he's picked up an injury. And then we was to drop points at Fulham, and then come the end of the season, we just miss out on it. And I would look at and there's no guarantee. We could get to the semi-final in the Europa League and then get beaten or whatever like that. That's if you're saying to me like, "Ooh, we're guaranteed of winning the Europa League if we play our full team every week," then I'll take it. But you just don't know what's going to happen in that cup competition. We've got unbelievable chance of winning the league, you know what I mean? And I can't believe it. I'm saying it, people are going to go, being arrogant or whatever, like throwing away that. I'm not saying throw it away. I'm just saying, if, for instance, we made 7 changes or whatever in that game and we went to Juventus and lost 1-0, would it be the end of the world when we got the second leg at home?
But what if you went there and lost 3-0? Well,
we didn't when we went to City, and City are a better team than Juventus.
Yeah, but even...
And are Juventus going to play a strong side? I don't know. You know what I mean? That's the thing. In this competition, luck of the draw again. And if you're picking up one of the teams that chasing the title, they're going to rest a few players as well.
I guess the thing is as well. Do we have a strong enough squad now to battle it out on both fronts? Well, I guess that's the question, isn't it?
The thing is, if when you go like, that front three, say if it was that front three, say Jesus, right? We're looking at, how long away is it? 3 weeks today or 2 weeks today? I think it is. Is it 3 weeks? Where are we at? Yeah, I think it's 3 weeks today, 2 weeks today, whatever it is. Jesus playing 60, 70 minutes. That's a bonus to get him a game where you ain't got to risk it in a league game. You know what I mean? So you can say to him, like, hey, have a run around for 60 minutes, then you're coming off. You couldn't do that in the Premier League, Robbie.
No.
Right? So you got that. But same with Smith Rowe. So them two are going to get minutes. You know what I mean? Now, come 5-6 games down the line, you're going to... Jesus and Smith Rowe could actually be starting games in the Premier League for us. So that's not weak. Nelson, by the way, contributed in the Premier League this season. Hasn't played for a while, so needs games. You ain't going to give it... So for me, that would be a great, perfect front three. Vieira, I think come on the other day, has done well when he's come on the last couple of games.
He's had an assist for the goal, hasn't he?
Yeah.
The last goal.
Did you see that? Why he celebrated that? Have you ever seen that? I only noticed this the other day when he passes it to Martinelli. Have you seen?
What, you celebrating already?
Celebrating as it.
Oh, was
yeah.
it?
Have you never seen it? Like,
No, I didn't even notice that.
Have a watch of it. Like,
I seen Martinelli celebrating.
Yeah, no, but as he plays the pass, he gets on his knees, going like, giving it.
Yeah,
I love it. So he's gone up in my estimations now, Vieira. So he needs games, because what happens? What my big worry is, and say something does happen to Odegaard or whatever, like, you know what I mean. You've got to bring in Vieira, who hasn't had no 90 minutes. It's just like, you're not expecting these guys to come in and hit the ground running when they haven't had minutes. So I think that, the Europa League is important to use the squad. Maybe mix it up. Maybe I've gone too much on that. Maybe like 4 or 5 changes in both. But then if you did make those 4 or 5 changes against Fulham and you don't win that game, everybody would be blaming the Europa League. I don't know.
Who for you then are the key players that you'd want rested?
What?
Yeah, I mean, that you look on and say those have to be rested. I don't want them starting no Europa League games when we've got.
Well, there's 100% two. 100% two. If you're going to, I'm happy to travel wherever, you know what I mean, like, and I know it's sensitive because you want to see your best players playing, but I don't want to see Saka. I don't want to see him. That's and I don't want to see Partey. Them two, I don't want to see. The rest, I think, we could probably do. We can get away with.
Yeah.
In other positions, I think. But I think that they are the 2 key players. So if he was to leave them out, I wouldn't be too.
Yeah. I actually. Yeah, it'd be those 2 as well. And if Jesus gets fit, and comes back into the first team, he'd be another one. I'd be like, I don't want to see him in the Europa League games. But I get it, what you're saying. This could be a good ground for him getting himself back to full fitness by playing in the Europa League. And
there's 2 games in a week, aren't they?
I think, right, if we can get everybody back, right, I actually feel that even by making a lot of changes in the Europa League, we could have a strong team that could fight on 2 fronts. Because I look on it now and I'm like, it's not a bad squad. In goal, I think Matt Turner has deputised really well this season. So I would have no problem with seeing him playing in the Europa League games, and indeed he should play in them, right? We know Tomiyasu at right back, you know what I mean, he can start games, let alone be coming in the Europa League games. Rob Holding is a guy of a lot of experience.
Deserves game.
I don't think he's going to let you down in the Europa League. I want to see this Jakob Kivior.
Exactly.
He comes with a great reputation. He hasn't actually played yet, so that's a perfect time to make him play, to get into the swing of things. Kieran Tierney, we all know about Kieran Tierney. He could definitely, he's a great left back, right? Jorginho could play that defensive midfielder role. I mean, he's looked decent since he's come in. You know what I mean? His confidence would be sky high after that goal he scored. It was an own goal, but we know the shot that he took at Aston Villa. But apart from that, he's done well. I mean, he's looked like an experienced player. Won the Europa League. He's won the Champions League. Knows all about Europe. Will be, good fitness levels. Fabio Vieira, I think, has done pretty well this season.
Yeah.
He's growing as a player. Every time I see him play, I'm saying he's growing.
I like what I see.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a very good player next year. So Fabio Vieira, Xhaka's a machine, we know.
Just thinking about that, you could actually put Smith Rowe in that position because you've got Trossard. I forgot about Trossard.
Yeah, and then up front, I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking you got Smith Rowe, you got Trossard, you could play down the middle even.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, and like you said, you could be worked back. So I actually think it's quite a strong, Reece Nelson can come in on that right-hand side. I do think there's a bit more strength in depth than earlier on in the season when it was going to be more Marquinhos and more youngsters coming in. But these are some seasoned guys. Somebody like a Trossard would probably, he's never played in Europe before, so he'd probably relish, taking on the mantle of playing in that. And I'm with you. I mean, I want to see us put it all on the league. I don't really want to see Saka I don't want to see Saka or Partey flying over to those games.
That's the other thing. Do you want them to be on the bench, or do you want them or putting their slippers on and watching it?
I wouldn't even want Partey on the bench, to be honest.
No, I'm with you. Stay at home.
Maybe Saka you could take and have on the bench, but I wouldn't really want him on the bench either. I think where I'd more have them on the bench would be at the home game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no travelling involved, nothing. You know what I mean? Have them involved. Because that's the thing as well, is that players can get injured. I mean, Partey got injured, not in a game, did he? He must have been in training.
Right, yeah. Well,
Right.
he could get injured getting out of the bath, couldn't he? Like, you know what I mean? You just don't really know with him, like.
Yeah, so, you know, but for me personally, the priority, I'm with you, the priority has to be the league. Has to be the league. You know?
And also, like,
100% has to be the
I know
league.
that they travel in luxury and all that, like, you know what I mean? And
Still travelling.
they're still travelling, yeah. They've still got to go through all that.
Listen, travelling is, you know, I remember sort of having a conversation with one of my mates about this, and he said the same thing. He goes, hey, what are they moaning about? He goes, first class, travelling on the thing. But I said, listen, travelling is, obviously, they're not going to be squashed up in that like us in economy, but travelling is travelling. Even me, I've been lucky enough, right, a couple of times, right, a few times to travel like...
yeah.
Hold on, steady. To travel business class, right? So I've been lucky enough a few times to travel business class, yeah? And like, if you travel like business class on the British Airways one...
I wouldn't know.
You've done it before, something like that. Yes,
swear,
you have.
I swear.
You've never done a business class?
I've never, ever, every time I've flown, I've always gone...
Economy?
Yeah, never ever gone business class or
well, you
first
could
class.
remember we when we went to Florida, I got the upgrade.
Did you?
On the way back.
No, did you?
Yeah.
Where was I then?
I got the upgrade. It
No,
was when we was coming back from Florida.
no. It must have been
Coming
another
from Florida.
time. No, it weren't. I was sitting there when we was freezing cold.
That was on the way down.
No, it was on the way back.
Or was it when we went to Nigeria? I think I got an upgrade.
Well,
I think I got an upgrade. They knew I was on the plane and they gave me a very...
what do you mean they knew you was on the plane? What's going on here?
There were some Arsenal, the sort of stewardesses and that were Arsenal fans, and they very kindly gave me an upgrade, and I very much appreciate it.
What, and you left everybody else down in...
No, I asked everybody else. I said, would you do... I said, listen... I said, hold on.
This is outrageous.
It's not outrageous. You know what happened, right, is that I asked everybody, I said, listen, I've been offered an upgrade, man. I go, would you guys be cool with that? I go, we all travel
They ain't going to say no, are they?
And they all said, no, Robbie, man, go, do it. Right, so I went and did the upgrade, and then after that, when I get off the plane, they all slagging me off.
Oh, of course
look, you left us. I said, I asked you lot if it'd be all right. You all said yes. Cool.
Do you imagine walking out, look at him, look. How do you look at, you know what I mean?
You wanker.
Yeah.
But listen, right, I got the upgrade, right? So listen, you're travelling on them British Airways flights. They have like these in business class. You can kind of open it out, like it's almost like a sort of mini bed. And you can sort of lie, so you can lie down, like fully sleep. But get off the other side, I'm still knackered. It's not my bed.
Not
so
as
it's
bad
more,
as the others, though.
Yeah, so that's the point I'm trying to make. It's more comfortable
but you're still,
than being in economy, but you're still knackered.
Yeah.
You're still not your bed. You're still not really slept properly.
No, it's just not.
You know what I mean? You still got to go to the airport. You still got to queue up, right? Even if you are in those business class, you know what I mean? You still got to wait around, and it's all of that sort of stuff that comes into it.
Yeah.
I remember one time a few years ago, we was coming back from, I can't remember what game, and we get to the airport, and Arsenal's plane with all the players was leaving from the same airport that we were leaving from. So there was like, it was a tiny little airport. I think where was it? Lithuania? I can't remember where. Slovenia, I think it was in. It was a tiny little airport, and there was like one plane that was sort of, it was a special that was taking all the fans back. I can't remember what game it was. It might have been, I think we might have played that in Karabag or whatever, Karabag.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and then we had to change in Slovenia, right? And there was one, so there was one plane for all the fans, a special plane, and there was one plane for the players. And they came back and they had to be queuing up in the same airport and all that. And I tell you, it caused a little bit of a fuss because they put in, if I remember rightly, it might not have been Carabao, but we hadn't put in a very good
Is that when they were all abusing Arsene Wenger as you walk past and all that?
They was, I didn't see that part, but apparently, there was a few
I
fans
remember
that had to go
that,
in. There's the players, some of the players just walked past the fans without acknowledging them, which was the wrong thing to do. I think the only one who did acknowledge was Ox, you know. But some of the other players just walked past. I think that wound up some of the fans. They're like, couldn't even come over.
Yeah.
Just say, but
They wouldn't do that now.
I remember that time, both flights were waiting around, and what caused a bit of uproar is that, they said to the fans one, they go, yeah, you're not going to have to wait a little bit longer because the players one's got to get off first. And everyone's going, why they got to go first? Well, you know what I mean? But they had to be waiting around. So when you fly, trust me, even if you're first class, business class, you've got a bit more comfort. Yeah, you might get a glass of champagne brought to your seat. It's the same travelling.
Lovely.
And don't give it to me like you've done it before.
I have not. I swear to you, I've not. I've never.
I don't believe you, man.
I've never.
You missed the hospitality.
I know. But I've never. I've been.
You never had an upgrade.
Never had an upgrade. Never.
Let's all cry.
Like some people say, I've gone on a plane and they've said, you can get an upgrade, right? Giving you an upgrade. I've never had that.
Never had that.
Never had that.
I have a couple of times, man. It is good.
Lucky to go on the Emirates, like when you go to Dubai and all that. The economy is pretty classy. I've got to say.
So you want to go in the business on it?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to go on a business one night.
But as I said,
there's any Emirates pilots out there.
It's still travelling. You're still up in the air. Yeah. Your ears are still popping. Yeah. You're still, even if you've got your little bed or whatever, you're still uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Or it's still not as comfortable as your own bed.
And you're not sleeping. That's a great point.
Yeah,
you're not sleeping
in your own bed. You still get off at the other end. You still got to wait to be picked up. Then they've got to take you back if they're the players to the hotel, then pick up your car and go home. It's travelling.
Yeah.
It's travelling. It's, as I said, a lot better than our travelling, but it's still travelling, still has a little effect, especially when you go to somewhere far. I don't think it's too bad when you're going somewhere near, like, say it was the Netherlands and it's a couple hours in out.
Yeah. You're up and down,
that's not bad, but suppose it is a Karabag or something like that, where them places are far. And they don't have, like the greatest airports that connect places. So it does take a bit out of you. Take a bit out of you, all that travelling.
And those games, say like they come home that night, so they're probably getting home about 5 o'clock in the morning, Friday. Yeah. Friday morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't care whatever you say.
So you can't go training the next day.
You can't really, go training in the afternoon or whatever, don't they? Like, but
and that training
that
training in the afternoon is going to have to be some light training.
Yeah.
Because, just natural tiredness, natural fatigue.
Yeah. Do you remember, like, was it, I know that we didn't go by plane and all that, but we got home from Manchester at 5 o'clock in the morning for the Man City game.
Yeah.
That sort of time. You never sleep properly, you wake up about 10 o'clock or whatever, like, it ain't the same sort
That's the
of
other thing,
pattern.
you've got to remember, you've got some people who travel, right, who can get on a plane and sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah? Then you've got other people I know, right, that, like, you could be on a 18-hour flight to Australia, they won't sleep a wink.
Yeah.
They just can't sleep on a plane.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the thing, you know what I mean? So it does have an effect. It does, and also, I think where it does really take an effect is that it's a disturbance to your preparation.
Yeah. That's why I don't know.
Throughout the week, they know what their preparation is. On this day, we're doing this. On that day, we're doing that. That day, we take a rest. On this day, it throws out all your routine. You're away from your family for a day. Even some people will be saying, oh, so what? It's still a human being away from his family for a day or two or three.
And Fulham and Crystal Palace will be doing exactly that.
They'll be resting up. They'll be sticking to their normal routines. They'll be flying. They'll be, when I say flying in training.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a bit. It is a bit of a worry. It is a bit of a worry, but there is that thing where I do feel we do need some games for some players as well.
So I'm with you. I'd be resting up a load of those players. But I'm interested to find out what people say in the comments. Europa League or the title. Would you actually sacrifice?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because it's kind of like what we're saying. Would you sacrifice the Europa League for the title?
I'm not saying. I still want to win, but I'm happy to go there with a weakened team and hopefully get through. But that's how I'm saying it. Like, but if we was to go, do you know when we went to that PSV game? I don't know how people felt about that, and we come away from that. Yeah. We were still through in the group stage, I think we had to win the next one, didn't we? Which we did at home. But you don't want to lose. Like, come on, I don't want to lose games at Arsenal. I'll get the ump when we lose. You know what I mean? So I don't want us to lose. But those games against Crystal Palace and Fulham are massive games.
They're massive games. They're massive games. Of the most
where
important.
at the beginning of the season you'd have said, "Oh, they're great games to have your Europa League."
Yeah.
You'd say we'd play everybody in the Europa League games and rest a few players. We might get the 3 points in those two games. How things have changed.
Listen, let's get into our pick 10s because don't forget AFTV Pick 10. You can click the link in the description or scan the QR code to download the AFTV Plus app to play Pick 10. This week there's £11,500 up for grabs.
Good luck, everybody. I ain't getting near it.
Don't write yourself off like that. Last week, 3 people won an unbelievable £2,009 each. A guy called Javier B, he won £2,500 in Sunday's AFTV Pick 10 game. Yeah? So don't just write yourself off, man. There's winners. There's winners that are happening out there. You can play. I won a £5.
Well done.
How much you win?
I'm not on that. You've smashed me this month. I'll give you that. Like, you know what I mean? I've been poor.
Right. Let's look at the Leicester versus Arsenal game, which we're going to also look at in a minute. Full-time result.
Come on, you Gunners.
Arsenal going. Both teams to score.
No, I've gone no on that.
I'm going yes.
Oh yeah, I've got
Leicester.
What are you going? What would your prediction score be?
I think it might be 3-1.
3-1. Turkish said that as well.
Yeah, I think it might be 3-1. Over 2.5 goals, yes. If I'm going 3-1. First half result, I think Arsenal could be winning. Leicester to have over 3.5 corners. This corners one.
This corners one, I mean, it's just a lottery, isn't it? Like, you know, have 3 corners in 3 corners consecutively, and then you don't get another corner all going. I don't know.
I'd say they're playing at home. I'm going to say yes. Yeah. Arsenal have over 5.5 corners. I'm going to go no for that.
I'll go no.
Leicester to have over 2.5 cards. Never really a dirty game, is it? I'm going no. Arsenal to have over 1.5 cards. I'm going to go. We haven't really been picking up loads.
No, we've been really. Our discipline's been very good.
Much better. No. Saka to score at any time. Yes, he's on fire.
I'll say he's more of an assist man this time.
Huh?
I'll say he's going to assist.
All right. So that's my one that I've gone for. They've also got an AFTV Pick 10 going as well, which is for the games. What was those games on the Saturday? I think.
Yeah.
I'll run through those quickly. West Brom versus Middlesbrough.
West Brom. But Middlesbrough are playing really well.
Middlesbrough, man. Yeah, I mean, Truba Akpom, man. Ex-Arsenal flying. Absolutely flying. Sheffield United versus Watford. That's a great game as well.
Sheffield United lost a bit of form.
Watford. They're doing all right. They beat West Brom on.
Sheffield United, they've got to get back on the winning road.
Watford's going away again. Everton versus Villa.
Everton, that's it. Another 1-0 win.
I'm going Villa.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going Villa. They've got to get back to winning. I think they've lost about 2-3 games on the bounce. Can't really defend very well, but going forward they were very impressive.
I thought that was impressive. Yeah.
Leeds United versus Southampton. These are big games, man. Leeds United versus Southampton.
Got new manager. The old new manager bounce for Leeds United, but mind you, Southampton haven't got one. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Whoever loses that, I think they're doomed, don't they?
I think Leeds are under big pressure to win that.
Yeah, I think Leeds just home advantage.
Draw.
Oh.
Leicester versus Arsenal. I've gone win already. West Ham versus that's another look, these are some brilliant games this weekend. West Ham versus Nottingham Forest.
Well. I've got to say West Ham. So shocking.
They were shocking
against Spurs. Spurs really are there for the taking, and they put out.
Moyes is just a defensive manager. He doesn't go for it.
5 defenders and 3 holding midfield players. Against Tottenham.
Do you know I could see Forest?
Yeah, I'm going to go Forest.
I don't think Forest are going to win. I'm going to go for a draw.
You're going to go for a draw.
I think they'll frustrate.
I think West Ham are in trouble.
They're in big trouble. Bournemouth versus Man City. I went for another draw, man. You know what I mean? I went for a draw last week and I've got it.
I'm going for a Bournemouth home win. Come on, Bournemouth. Come on, Bournemouth.
Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid.
After what I see the other night.
Real Madrid for me.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Not the easiest game to go to after you've just suffered that defeat. Palace can be a bit of a bogey team sometimes for... Oh, I'm going for a
draw. Of Liverpool, if Liverpool are going to get top four, I'm going Liverpool. They've got to get top four.
I'm going for a shock here, man. Palace.
Oh.
Palace shock.
Oh.
Valencia versus Real Sociedad. I'll go Sociedad. Right, so those are my entries for this week.
I'm going to go.
I just cleared my entries. What am I doing?
Oh.
Let me just put those in again. Right, so
nerves that is. I'm going to go Valencia on that one. Home advantage, right? You know, Liverpool have got to win that game.
Huh?
Liverpool have got to beat Palace, but do you know what? Palace are in danger, you know, of slipping into the thing.
So they're going to be. See, this is the thing, right? As well, when we talk about is that when you're facing teams at this time of the season, they are highly motivated by different
reasons.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's different reasons that motivate them to try and win the game because, you know, there's so many teams at the bottom or there's teams trying to get into the top 4 or top 6 and that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So there's so much on every game for every team now.
We've got West Ham, haven't we, next month?
Yeah.
You know, the chances are they'll sack Moyes the week before we play them. But but you know, you go there. If they carry on going as they are, they're going to be fighting for their lives. Then, you know, and if they're not fighting for their lives, something's wrong.
They're fighting for their lives already.
Yeah, I think that it's.
Yeah.
You know.
Listen, our game this weekend's massive. We go away to Leicester. Leicester, who...
Yeah, a bit of form, Leicester, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought they was very good against Man United in that first half.
First half, they were good against Man United. Were very unlucky not to have, you know, got something out of that game. It's just 100%. The brilliance of De Gea. But then they did end up losing it. Previous to that, I think, was it, they beat Tottenham.
Beat Tottenham and then Villa.
Tottenham fought one, and they put 4 past Villa as well. Right? They've got Maddison back. They're on a bit of form. But... Arsenal have lost, Leicester have lost their last 4 Premier League games against Arsenal. Remember last year we went there, we beat them 2-0.
2-0, yeah.
It was a very good performance by Arsenal. Right. I remember Ramsdale had to pull off a great save just before half time, if I remember rightly, from Maddison.
Well, that was the one. That was a save that really made him, didn't it?
It was a brilliant save.
Unbelievable. Played really well that day.
I remember that game. We played really well. We're going to have to play really well again this week. They're a very good side, even though they've been up and down this season. Yeah. But they've refound a bit of form in recent games. No shame to losing to Man United away from home. They're going to be back at home. It's going to be
crowd. They are noisy up there.
Crowd, the old clappers out.
The old clappers out. They give it, and all those Leicester fans, I'll tell you, they're very, very.
They are very
boisterous.
We went up there and they were going, "Champions of England, you'll never sing that." I was thinking, you've only won it once. How many times we've won that? I mean, you know, who do you think you're singing that to? You must just have that song on repeat.
Yeah, but they are very, you know, and they like to give it when you come out.
They do like to, they do give it. They do give it. But got a decent record. Arsenal have won 9 of their 12 Premier League away games this season. Yet still, we go into games away from home with a lot of anxiety. I don't know why. Because we've been good away from home. We've been good away from their home.
I just, you know, it's every game now. You're going to have
just that. It isn't. It's a title race.
It's you know what I mean. It's every game, you know. And if things didn't go right, you know, it's not all the end of the world, as you see with what happened last week. But I think that if Arsenal can, I think out of our next 5 games, this is the toughest one. You know
I agree.
What I mean? I agree. You know, so if we can get over this test and over this hurdle, 2 home games in to come up, which we should now. Then it's
so important. Do you know what? Last week's game and this week's game, I looked at the run we had coming up, and I'm like, you see those 2 games, they're difficult. But if we can get through those 2 difficult away games, with wins, it really sets us up to go on a run. It's so important, that game against Leicester. It really is. They're a good side, but they're a beatable side.
Yeah.
I really do feel if Arsenal, if they go there and put that second half performance in that we saw against, Aston Villa, And even the first half performance that we saw against City, we can beat them. But the only thing that's worrying me at the moment, right, is defending. We've got to tighten up on the defence. I've been very worried in recent games, just simply how we get caught out.
Yeah.
I kind of understood it in the second half of that game against Villa. I get it. We've got to go for it. You know what I mean? You've got to gamble. You've got to flood forward. So even that chance when Bailey was great, and there was a great save by Ramsdale. I understand those situations because we got to go for it. We were losing at the time, but I really do want us to tighten up that defence. I just feel that, we always seem to be in these little one-on-one situations. The way
agree.
we play, and I think there's something that, especially away from home, we've got to be more mindful of that. Look at the 2 goals that they scored. Villa, they weren't. The previous game, the mistakes. Yeah. I think we've got to get back to basics when it comes to defending.
I'm with you on this, and also this is probably a more enjoyable game out of the 3 because the next 2 games, the 2 home games, is going to be like, can we break down teams? You know what I mean? More. So I think it'd be more of an open game, a bit more suits us this game. Not suits us, but you know what I mean? It's going to be, if we can get in front in this game, it'd be a good game. But the next 2 games after that, it'd be a different sort of worry. Every game's a worry now, isn't it? Like, let's be honest, you know what I mean?
Every game's a worry. And as I said, Leicester, I just feel that a team like Leicester, if we tighten the defence, we can score because their defence is probably their weakness.
Yeah.
Their midfield can be got at, but up front, they're good. You know what I mean? Iheanacho's been on form.
Harvey Barnes,
Harvey Barnes, a great player. You got, they can, there's still Vardy, could come in and pose problems. Patson Daka, lots of pace. In behind them, Maddison. They've got those players. But I do feel that when you're attacking a team like that, but we know. I mean, I think as well, they're not going to be an Everton where it's like every single person behind the ball. They are going to be, Brendan Rodgers' teams are a bit more attacking. I think they will sit a bit deeper, but they'll look to attack on the counter-attack.
They look to play football
but they're not going to be, they're not going to be an Everton where it's all physical, the ball's flying out.
They haven't got that big centre forward like the last couple of teams that we've had. We struggled against it. We struggled with Haaland. We struggled with Everton with it.
Yeah. Even Ollie Watkins.
And Ollie Watkins causes problems with that, So it's a different sort of game. I don't think Leicester can play that way, of just putting it up there quickly.
It's not their style.
So it's not their style. So that may suit us a little bit more.
They're not, even like how Brentford played, they're not going to play.
Brentford was another team with Owen Tony, with the big centre forward up there, went long against us, didn't they? Mixed it up a little bit. So, this is, this is I've enjoyed Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now we're getting nearer to the weekend. I'm getting nervous again.
You know what I mean?
That's what it does, doesn't it?
It's a nervy game. I mean, would you make any changes?
No. I would keep Trossard in for this game.
Yeah.
Because I think Martinelli
had a good impact.
Yeah, like 20 minutes from the end, a tired fullback. You know what I mean? And I think Matty Cash is a good defender, by the way. But he's like 70 minutes in, and you got him running at you, particularly away from home. So I would keep it the same, and then in the home game, I'd bring back Martinelli for the Everton game. But
that's true, because you've got to consider that as well.
We've got Wednesday to think about,
Wednesday,
I wouldn't make too many changes, I think, but maybe just keep it the same. And the the substitutions made big impacts when they come on, Vieira and Martinelli. So, just keep it the same, and if we need to bring on those players to do it again, let them do it.
If Partey's fit, does he come back in?
Okay, I want him in the 2 home games.
Oh, so you'd leave Partey out of
this game,
the game, so that he could play against the 2.
Just give him that little bit of extra time to recover, I would like to see him more training, a bit more training. Look, if he's 100% fit, If he's 100% fit, he comes in. But if he's just still, not so sure, I'd leave it a few more days.
If he's 100% fit, I bring him in, but I keep Jorginho in and probably drop out Xhaka.
Really? Why?
Just because I'm like, that guy, I just feel that Xhaka's performances have dropped a little bit over the past couple of games. Maybe the same sort of thing, bring him in for the home game. But I just think, how can you drop Jorginho after the buzz?
After that performance.
The buzz he must be on after what he did, right? His confidence is going to be through the roof. So
he was superb as well on the day.
Yeah, so kind of want him to play, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's good that we're saying that we could possibly leave out Partey that's.
I wouldn't leave out Partey if he's 100% fit, but if he's got this muscle injury, why rush him back and then let the more damage? You know what I mean? Yeah. I think I don't know. You know what I mean? This is where Mikel's going to make his money, isn't it? Like, this is where he earns his stripes. He has to make that decision. And I tell you what, whatever happens, it's a bold decision what he makes if he does keep him there. But for me, I still think it's more important that Partey is with us long term for every game. So I feel we've got to, and we shouldn't be doing this, Robbie. We shouldn't be nursing through a player the whole season. That's something that we're going to have to look at next season.
To be fair, he's not really been injured much this season.
Well, that's because we've nursed him, haven't we? We've nursed him in certain games, leaving him out here. He never played no Europa League games.
Yeah.
And then he got injured, like cut the game. I felt the game against
the problem's been is the big games he's been injured for, because he's actually been, if you actually look at his record this season, it's actually been pretty good. He's not really been injured that much, but it's been like the big game. City, he's out.
That was a big kick. That kick when he's not playing last week. I don't care what anybody says.
Out for the City game, the big game. He's United away. He's out for that one. You know what I mean? Those big games where you need him. So that's been the thing.
So what are you saying? Rest him to the Man City game?
Well, if we win all those games in between, why not?
Yeah. So
you never know. He might not need him. Jorginho's
But that's a great thing that we're saying, is that where we're desperate to bring him back. All of a sudden now we're saying, well, if we can hold him back to make sure he's 100% fit, that just shows you how well Jorginho's done. Really,
if we can get Jesus back firing like what he was doing before he got injured.
I'm hearing he's back in training.
That could be such a boost for this football club for that title charge. He's experienced, he's won a title before, and he's an excellent player who causes defences no end of problems. He's a driving force in it. We need, he's been out so long.
It's 3 months. We've forgotten how good he is.
3 months we've been missing what I class as our best player this season.
Yeah.
And
we've not seen him since.
We can get him back.
We've not seen him since the Wolves game. I know, like he was.
Yeah.
That was November.
Yeah.
The 18th, was it, or something like that? So November, December, January, February. Yeah, 4 months nearly, like that.
4 months. That's what I was saying the other day, right? I was
saying our number 9.
I was going, when you got to give Arsenal credit, imagine if, United were missing Rashford now for 4 months.
Well, unbelievable.
Or if Haaland's were out for 4 months for Man City, you know what I mean? I'm saying he's an important player for us, and for the fact that we're still maintaining and doing what we're doing with him being missing all this time is a real credit to the team.
Yeah.
But if we could get him back and firing, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Listen, we come to the end of the show today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget AFTV Plus. That is where you go and you can download the app to play AFTV PICK10. Big chance to win £11,500 up for grabs this week when you play. Also, you can still donate to the Turkey-Syria earthquake appeal. The link is in the description. Thanks to everybody who's already donated there. And listen, let's hope we can get a big win against Leicester at the weekend and just keep that momentum going now. Build it up, right? Because we are still in the title race. Lee, thank you very much.
Come on.
Thanks to you guys, and we'll see you next week. The Invincible podcast. Myself, Robbie, and Lee Judges come together once a week to discuss all things Arsenal. Straight talking, considered discussion, brought to you by the fans of the only club in Football League history to go invincible.